Once upon a time, nestled in a cozy sun-dappled meadow, lived a mother pig and her 3 adorable piglets. As they grew, their mother noticed they were becoming quite big and independent. "My dear piglets," she said one sunny morning, her eyes twinkling with affection, "you've grown into fine young pigs. It's time for you to venture out and build your own homes." The first little pig, a rather lazy fellow named Pip, sighed dramatically. "Oh, mother, must I?" he grumbled. But, seeing the determined look in her eyes, he reluctantly set off. He wandered a short distance, spotted a field of golden straw, and thought, "Perfect!" With a few quick snorts and shuffles, he hastily piled the straw into a flimsy hut. "There," he declared, "now I can play all day." And indeed, he spent his days napping under shady trees and chasing butterflies, ignoring the gathering storm clouds. The second little pig, a slightly more conscientious pig named Squeaky, ventured further. He found a grove of slender dry sticks and thought, "These will do." He spent a little more time than Pip, weaving and stacking the sticks into a house that looked somewhat sturdy but still had many gaps. "It's not perfect," he admitted to himself, "but it's better than straw." He then spent his afternoons practicing his ocarina, though he kept a nervous eye on the horizon. The third little pig, a wise and hardworking pig named Prudence, traveled far and wide. She found a quarry filled with sturdy red bricks and said, "This is what I need." Day after day, she carried bricks, mixed mortar, and carefully laid each brick, building a strong, solid house with a tall chimney and a secure door. She even planted a small garden with colorful flowers around it. "This is a home," she declared, wiping her brow, "a safe haven." One blustery afternoon, a big bad wolf with eyes as yellow as lemons and teeth as sharp as knives came prowling through the meadow. He spotted Pip's straw house and grinned, a wicked glint in his eyes. He knocked on the door, his voice a low, menacing growl.
Little pig, let me come in."
Pip, trembling, squeaked, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," the wolf roared, his breath hot and heavy. He took a deep breath, puffed out his cheeks, and blew with all his might. The straw house scattered like dandelion seeds in the wind, and Pip, squealing in terror, fled to Squeaky's stick house. The wolf, licking his lips, followed swiftly. He arrived at Squeaky's house and repeated his demand, little pig, let me come in!" Squeaky, his ocarina trembling in his hooves, cried, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin!" "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," the wolf bellowed. He huffed and puffed, and the stick house rattled and swayed, then collapsed like a pile of kindling. The 2 terrified pigs scrambled to Prudence's brick house. The wolf, now more determined than ever, arrived at Prudence's sturdy home. Little pigs, let me come in," he snarled. "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins," they all shouted together, their voices filled with fear and defiance. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," the wolf thundered. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," the wolf thundered. He huffed and puffed again and again, but the house remained as solid as a rock. Frustrated and furious, the wolf decided to try a different tactic. "I'll climb down the chimney," he thought, a cruel smile spreading across his face. But Prudence, ever resourceful, had anticipated this. She had lit a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed a large pot of boiling water on the hearth. As the wolf slid down the chimney, he plunged into the scalding water with a yelp of pain. He leaped out of the fireplace, howling and screeching, and fled into the forest, never to be seen again. The 3 little pigs, huddled together, cheered with relief. They learned a valuable lesson that day. Hard work, careful planning, and wise choices lead to safety and happiness. From that day forward, they lived together in Prudence's strong brick house, playing, laughing, and enjoying the fruits of their labor, always remembering the day the big bad wolf learned his lesson.